the reason why Salva Kiir left the country is to go and stop Qatar from suing South Sudan in the US court.
Why?
Because, welcome to Jimosi podcast. This week, President Kiir left the country for the UAE.
Okay.
So after he left, who do you think is in charge of the country at the moment?
His Excellency, Dr. Benjamin Bolme.
Was he the one that see him up at the airport?
No, I didn't see him flying out. But I'm just guessing. He's the second in command, right? And Riek Machar is now under house arrest.
Okay, based on the peace agreement, who is supposed to remain in charge of the country?
Vice President.
Yeah, Salva Kiir. Riek Machar.
Yeah. But then if Riek Machar and Kiir are both away, then one of the vice presidents is supposed to be in charge. And the president is the one to choose who should be in charge.
So as per the peace agreement, the person that is in charge of the country right now is Riek Machar. But because he's under the house arrest, because he's under house arrest and is not able to charge his duties, Bolmel is the one in charge of the country at the moment. Yeah, so that's what's happening.
He's like the president's favorite.
Yeah. And I was going to say, do you know what's happening right now?
What's up?
The civil servants are sleeping in peace in the absence of Salva Kiir. Because when Salva Kiir is present, every 8 p.m., a decree, you have been moved. So this week that the president has been absent, everybody has been sure that nothing is happening to the opposition and they are reporting to work.
But he can fire you from there.
No, he has not done it before.
Okay.
What if they do it now? Who will you think is behind the decree?
Bolme's handwriting.
Yeah.
Anaanza kutoa enemies wake moja moja.
Yeah, so if any decree was to come out in the absence of Salva Kiir, and then it's said it's Salva Kiir that's giving that directive, no, I will say there's a big no. There's Bolmel just exercising some duties behind him.
Because he cannot sign.
Yeah.
But you know they can sign like digitally.
There's no urgency. There's no urgency that that you have to relieve people even when you are away. So at least now most of these top
civil
servants are sleeping in peace. Especially people around Nile Pet, Central Bank, Finance. Those ones, they are always easy target of Salva Kiir decrees.
And then those decrees, I think ni kama wanazitoanga on Mondays or Fridays, those 2 days. Umeharibia mtu wiki or weekend. Yeah.
And based, if you are going to guess, why do you think Salva Kiir went to the UAE?
Maybe like bilateral talks.
That's what people always say.
Money.
Bilateral talks. They are going to
on progress and development.
Yeah. No, to me, based on some of the articles that I've been reading of late, 2 weeks ago, I read a certain article. And in my opinion, the reason why Salva Kiir left the country is to go and stop Qatar from suing South Sudan in the US court.
Why?
Because the Bank of Qatar National Bank, loaned South Sudan government around 700 million. In the early years of the war. That's around 2013. Dollars. Okay. Because of the interest and non-payment, it has accumulated up to 1 billion as of now. And South Sudan has defaulted on that.
Payments.
Yeah, yes, they have been trying to negotiate, but we like to borrow, but we don't pay.
Because you don't have regular source of revenue. So it's hard to meet your payments.
So the Qatar National Bank, QNB, decided to open a case in US.
Okay.
And you know, if a case is open in US, it's going to affect you.
Through. Yeah.
So that's why people say it's bilateral, but 100%, 99% sure. That's why I went there to go and make some arrangement. Either give us a year or give us some 6 months. We'll see how to pay your money. But don't taint our reputation as a country in US.
What reputation?
It's already tainted, but
tainted one.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, my other guest would have been for medical checkup. You know, these people, like, they eat the money and forget they are getting old, and they might fall sick anytime. So they need good hospitals. So whatever medical facilities we have in the country are not to their standards, or like they cannot cater for the kind of diseases that might be affecting them. So they end up flying out. It's either you go to Nairobi, at least it's more advanced in Kenya, or you go to the Western world. But like coming to the West is a bit more hard on them because of some sanctions here and there. So the easiest place to go to is
Middle East, UAE.
Yeah, or China, India mostly.
But because of the language, they like to go to UAE because most of them they have the Arabic.
Arabic, yeah.
Yeah, so it make it easy for them to. Yeah, that's another reason that can also be added to that. Or it might be going for the other thing, and then in the meantime, it's going
do like a physical medical check.
Yes.
Like extensive.
Yeah.
Extensive checkup. Yeah.
Let us look at when these people borrowed the 700 million USD. They were borrowing it to buy food, agricultural product, and pharmaceutical items.
Okay.
Our country is allowed to borrow for that.
What? Food?
Yeah, for food. These are regular expenditure. In Kenya,
pharmaceutical, yes.
In Kenya, this is not allowed. If it is pharmaceutical, no, it starts with food, agriculture, and then pharmaceutical. So does it really say it's going to be for pharmaceutical only?
No, I know. Like, I'm just looking at that category, right? Because food, you can easily produce it in your country.
And then also, the timeline of when this money was borrowed was during the war.
The war, yeah.
If you see these three items, these are to treat the soldiers that are fighting and to buy for food for them. Our country is not supposed to be borrowing for regular expenditure.
True.
Our country will borrow for investment, like infrastructure, because that infrastructure, when they are fighting with the external countries, but if it is
we were fighting with the North.
No, it was not borrowed in 2005. This was borrowed in 2013.
2013?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no.
It was not worth it.
You were supposed to plan yourself well.
Yeah.
By then you had like at least
defense and security are supposed to be allocated resources within the budget that you guys can afford. But countries are supposed to borrow when you are coming to invest in infrastructures that will generate another income like to pay it back. But when you borrow for something to be eaten today, where do you think that you'll get another money to pay that?
You're
so that's why
you borrow from Tom and then you pay John.
Yes, so that's why in most countries it's put in their constitution that the government will only borrow for infrastructure investment in the country, but not for local regular recurring expenditure. You can't do that because it becomes hard to pay it back.
I remember sometime we were having a discussion just like off camera, and then we were talking about the prisons, and then we mentioned something like these prisoners can be used to farm, right?
Yeah.
Like you just take them with a good security and then they go and farm, alafu you take them back to the prisons. At least that way they are being productive to the country. And then that farm, when the produce is out, the government can sell it subsidized.
Or it can be used to feed them.
Yeah.
Because when prisoners are in,
the
government is responsible for their
them.
feeding.
Yeah. But then if they farm like a huge tract of land, the government can easily sell some, right?
Yeah.
And then use some for the feeding of the different government departments, because they usually have lunch in offices in those countries. Yeah, civil servants, they eat in office, lunch and breakfast.
Yeah. Yes, so in that live video, the live video, where somebody from the ministry of, the one that the lady is in, Atonkwal, that guy was talking about food at the ministry.
Yes, because they eat breakfast and lunch.
But that's new.
They are cooked for.
In the Western world, people don't eat at workplace.
Your food.
You go with your own food.
Whatever you get at office, it's maybe like, even during food days, you carry food from home, right?
So, there's like nothing for free at workplace here.
There's only coffee machine and then sometimes sugar.
Which places?
No, in office, like they have.
In some offices, yes. But in government offices, I've never seen any coffee.
Yeah.
There's nothing for free.
Yeah.
You have to buy your own thing.
Like, if you didn't carry your food from home, you have to go and buy.
Yes.
And then they have restaurants all over and coffee places, coffee shops. But then in South Sudan, like, they eat lunch in office.
Yeah.
And chai with escort in the morning.
This is where they are finishing our money.
Yes.
These people are being paid, so they're supposed to use their own money to feed themselves, not to be fed again and being paid salary.
Yeah. And then, so like, if you make use of the prisoners, like I said, then you are able to produce things like potato, grains, legumes like beans, peas, those things. And if it's large enough, you can even export some.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you will not be required, or you will not need to import food produce. You just use whatever you have. And the way South Sudan has a lot of land that is viable for agriculture.
Yeah. What drama were you talking about?
Oh, around the presidency's travel. Niliona Mama Amira did. She was crying on live, like TikTok, I think it was Facebook. TikTok live or Facebook live, screaming that she was blaming the first family of allowing the president to go to Middle East during this time of war between Iran and Israel. And around the same time, I think there was closure of the airspace in Middle East because of the missiles.
Yeah, because after US dropped some bomb in Iran, Iran retaliates by bombing the US air base that is based in Qatar. So it is the Qatar air space that was closed.
Yes.
But again,
she was like Najela Towe.
Sudanese.
I'm not telling you away. Here I'm not working. I'm not here. I'm quite young. Miss can not for. I was here and we not for. Tinangan you bank here. Kabak daddy, Kabak you.
I think, why would you allow him to go and die in a foreign country? Nini. And
what is
people you don't care about the president?
No, these people like to create drama.
Yeah.
In Middle East, either for the UAE, Qatar, and other countries, they have a population of over 20 million when combined, or even 30 million. In those 30 millions, there are more important people in that society that have not left their countries. That have not left their countries because of that war. So Kiir going there is not the only billionaire. You know, like...
It's not billionaire. We're the head of state. But then the heads of states are
still there. But you know the importance of... Look at this way.
Yeah.
There's a head boy from Alliance High School. There's a head boy from Mangu or from any other national school. And there's a head boy from another day school far in the interior. When brought together, who is more important? the head boy from a national school. These other ones are seen like any other prefect. Even a prefect within alliance is equivalent to that.
Superior to someone from
from a local school. Miranda is a big school. From another local school, I don't want to mention some local school down there. Unaona? So that's the same thing with countries. Countries in UAE are like national schools. South Sudan, a third country, is like another small district school down there, or divisional school. That even the head of the country is not, it doesn't carry any importance.
Not that significant to them.
Yeah, and because African countries are mismanaged, these African countries are not given any much of respect.
Yes.
Our people just to pretend that, this person is not important. But these people look at the country. If the countries mess up, we don't give you any respect. They only give it to you. Yeah, they only think of you when you are coming to bake.
And then what country is that?
Yeah.
You have to explain yourself. But like, do you think if someone from the US goes to South Sudan and says they're from the US, there's someone who will not understand who they are? No. Maybe someone like in the interior, Kabisa. But still they will understand, because nowadays everyone has relatives abroad, right?
Yeah.
And you call them and then they send you dollars, so like at least you understand, okay, can I America and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that was just like a little drama for her. Let her do what she need to do, but there are so many important people in UAE, more than Kiir, but they have not left. But they have not left that country. Some of them are the one owning, Man City is a soccer team.
Manchester United.
Manchester United City. It's called Man City.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Manchester City, and then the
Manchester United.
Manchester United. Okay.
Yeah. So Manchester City is owned by one of the billionaires from the UAE.
Only one. Only one person.
These people are extremely rich.
People are rich. Yeah, I know.
They are rich. And I was looking at the UAE last night. Their population is around
11 million.
11 million.
Yeah, I just checked.
And
it's 11.3 million. 11,346,000 as of mid 2025.
Yes, and the real Emiratas, the people that own that land, are only 11% of the population. The rest of the population is immigrant.
Damn.
And so like when somebody owns Manchester United, for some of you do not know, Google how much is Manchester City.
Man City
should be in billions. Or the last time, you might not get the value because now. Yeah, I think it's not a public company.
It's possible.
Yeah, but it is in billion.
Yeah, it's 4.99 billion according to Forbes between your season 2022 to 2023.
Yeah, that was then. Now we are in 2025.
And they recorded at 712.8 million euros in that season 2022 to 2023.
So that amount of money is way bigger than this amount that South Sudan is owing, that they are going to bargain with Qatar. So there are more important people that are there that should be worried of the Israel missiles and the Iran missile than this individual of yours.
Yeah.
Yes, nobody should die, but no, there's no bomb that is going to hit him.
Hey, the owner ndio huyu anaitwa Sheikh Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan.
Yeah.
Hey. No, but this one is from England though. Ama akona citizenship here, England.
Maybe he's having citizenship, but he's from
England, and he's from that. Yeah. Sheikh Mansour ni jina ya Kiarabu.
Yeah.
And then the total value as of May 2025 ya Man City ilikuwa 5.3 billion.
Yeah.
That's like 4.1 billion euros.
Yes. Is it not bigger than the GDP of South Sudan now?
Revenue is 901 million, which is 713 million euros. And then operating income is 141 million US dollars, 112 million euros. Alafu debt value 0%.
Yes.
Ana deni.
Real money.
501 million. Damn.
Everything is profit. And I think one of them also bought, there's a team called Everton. So there are more rich people in UAE than this individual of yours. No, so...
When is this kind of richness going to locate some of us?
It doesn't just locate people. You have to work for it.
They need to show us their ways.
Yeah, so there's something, things don't just happen out of blue. And then also, yeah, like, I think we have exhausted that point.
Jamaa unaweza pata sahi is not that old.
Yeah, young person, he inherited from his dad.
Old. Yeah. I'm now mad with my dad.
Hey.
Walituachia kinaki.
Well, hata kama wangeacha kina Kiir kungekuwa na watu wengine wabaya. So it's not like South Sudan has good real leaders.
No, like
all of them are the same.
Up. These people really need to work on their corruption thing, right? At least walete progress. And then that way, some of us who are still interested in the country can invest when you're very sure that your properties are not going to be destroyed. Alafu, when there's security, obvious population growth will increase. Like it will grow at a higher rate. And other things like amenities will come up. So it's easier that way. Like it's easier to invest home than in these Western countries. Yeah. Because everything, property tax, tax.
Yeah, and I went to the Facebook page for the office of the presidents. Since when they left, nothing has been posted.
Because there are no decrees and there's no swearing in ceremony, so... But Bolmele is active though. He's posting on his page. So.
That's his page. I'm talking of the office of the president.
When,
you know, like when somebody posts there, they will say, who is that trying to overtake me?
Do you think Nikki Indiana posting is
yes,
someone that manages that account?
But they have to wait for him to return to the country to put something there.
Okay.
That page right now is untouchable.
No, yeah. But like if you want updates, you just check out Bolmel. Yes.
Or
Benjamin Bolmel.
Or Riek Machar page.
No, his page is also dormant.
Oh, okay.
Maybe like for their spokesperson or those of IO spokespeople. They're the ones who are kind of active. But then these top people, some of them are not even on social media. Like you might find a page dedicated to their name, but like if you do your digging, you'll find ilikuwa page ya some girl somewhere or some boy somewhere, and then they keep on editing the history.
Okay.
Yeah, for cloud, like you just need to get followers and stuff, but it's not real. Impersonation too. Yeah.
All right.